or onto the Chicago Bulls? This is I think it's a tougher question, buy, sell, or hold for the Bulls than it was 2, 3 weeks ago.
I think it's still a buy for me. The things that they might need to buy have maybe changed. Like they need a point of attack defender now, since their two best ones are on the shelf with Caruso and Ball. But to me, this is a team that like it's just the Patrick Williams question. I think that's the linchpin. Like, what are you willing to move him for one of the wings out there? Jeremy Grant's the obvious pick. Um, what do you need to do? Yeah, you've got, Troy Brown, you've got Derek Jones that you could throw in there. I just think this is the biggest thing for me is like, how do you evaluate Patrick Williams? You had an age 19 season and you had 5 games this year. There's some reporting that he might be back this season, which differs from when he initially had surgery. But that's going to be after the deadline, and you will not have any more information on what kind of player he is or what his value should be. So I think it's a really tough spot because, yeah, sure, like Jeremy Grant is way better than a guy that's not going to play. But for this team that's got a bunch of expensive guys already, and Zach LaVine's going to hit free agency, a good player on a rookie scale deal is like invaluable. So I think they're a buyer. I think if they're a serious buyer, Williams is probably someone they could move. But I just don't know how you make the decision on what you think he's worth because they just have like zero information on how good he's going to be. This is the fourth pick. They just don't know.
I think they're a light buyer now because they definitely need some backup five help. They need another wing. They could use some point of attack defense now with Lonzo Ball and Caruso injured at the same time. You at least know those guys are coming back, so maybe you don't prioritize that. But this is not the season for me to go all in now. I'd rather just Patrick Williams probably has more value over the summer when a team can acquire him saying, oh, he's going to be ready to play with us next season, rather than now is the will he, won't he. And even if he does, he doesn't have any time to acclimate himself to our program anyway, outside of the actual games themselves. I'm not making like I was on the fence whether I'd give him up. Like if you didn't need to even include that Portland pick, if it was just Williams to get you Grant or Barnes, I was on the fence about it to begin with. I just don't know if this is the season to do that. I know the Bulls are have this urgency now, but Vooch has not played too well. He's really only been valuable as an offensive decision maker, not as a shot maker or even a floor, just basically as a passer. So you need to do a better job of maybe reconciling what's going to happen, and you need the offseason to do that. So yes, I'm looking at trying to get a backup five. What is it going to cost to get, Mo Bamba, or are the Knicks willing to trade Nerlens Noel? How much does Mitchell Robinson cost at this point? Chris Boucher would be another name that could pop up there for them. Do you sort of just tread water? Like, is this a team that just looks at having Tristan Thompson to see what could happen there? They'd be a good Paul Millsap destination, even though he's not a true five. Those are the things I'm thinking about. I also don't know that there needs to be this urgency when you have Ayo Dosunmu playing like he is. The frenetic energy that he has brought on defense really helps them in a big way. And so just between him, having Javonte Green, eventually knowing you have Caruso and Ball coming back, I think you can get away this season by saying, look, we're not going to make the all-in play. We'll decide on that closer to this summer where, look, frankly, Portland's first-round pick probably has more value over the summer after the draft because that pick is not conveying this year. It's lottery protected, and I know the places are getting frisky, but I have to imagine they sell or start shutting down guys at some point. I know they're doing what they're doing without Damian Lillard, but I'm talking like Robert Covington and Yusuf Nurkic have been playing spectacular. Those are, I would expect at least one of those two guys to finish the season on a different team. And so I'm not against them buying, but I now find myself like, I'm not giving up Patrick Williams for Jeremy Grant or a Harrison Barnes right now. And I'll throw this out there. Part of the reason why is like, what if the Celtics make Jaylen Brown available and you're able to build packages around Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams? You also have Kobe White still. You have the Portland pick. You could trade your first round pick that you can trade would be 2027. Maybe the Celtics get more picks based packages that are intriguing, but if you're getting a young player with, in theory, who Williams could be, plus let's just say 2 first round picks, plus Lonzo Ball, how perfect of a fit is Lonzo Ball in Boston? First of all, that just might be interesting. I'm not sure if Jaylen Brown becomes available. If I'm Boston, I wouldn't make him available, but Boston is odd enough to where, no, I'm not waiting specifically for that, but I don't think the Bulls, I guess I see more than one way for the Bulls to make an all-in acquisition. And so I'm sort of letting that ride a little bit longer than rendering that verdict or making that call at the deadline. I don't know if that any of that made sense.
No, I agree. I think the only pushback. Well, first, I would just say that if Jalen Brown became available, the Bulls would have to outbid a shit ton of teams that are going to want him, and go back to Atlanta, right? If Atlanta's trying to make a consolidation move, Jalen Brown made a ton of sense. And this is also the second like homecoming angle I've played because he's from Georgia. Um,
I think with
yeah,
Boston, at least you know that they're probably not looking to fully restart in that scenario. And so
yeah,
Lonzo Ball as like a linchpin plus 2 picks, and then you could include swaps if you need to. I do agree with you that they probably could, if you're looking at future assets. Yeah, they'll definitely be outbid.
plus like all this stuff I've been saying about the Warriors forever of like they're trying to have it both ways. They shouldn't trade these young guys because they replace the aged out core. Like I probably shouldn't then say that the Bulls should trade Patrick Williams because that's kind of the ticket of, once these guys age out and you want that next guy on his, towards the end of his rookie deal to really pop. And he's kind of the only guy they have that has a shot at that.
And I wonder if there's just like a lower level wing that they could get for cheaper than what Barnes or Jeremy Grant is going to cost them too. I know they could use
Yeah.
someone that'll knock down threes and maybe have some more ball skills and hold up defensively. Robert Covington springs to mind. I don't know what his cost would be, but you're certainly not giving up Patrick Williams or Kobe White in that scenario.
No, I mean that's a Derek Jones situation, I think, or something, something like that. Expiring picks, I guess. I don't know.